For decades, he was treated as the living symbol of an ancient state, an emperor in a century that was trying to bury emperors. But in the last year of his life, that symbol vanished behind palace walls. And when the palace doors opened again, the story of how he died had already split into competing histories: the official version, the courtroom version, and the witness version. Before we begin, if you enjoy deep dives into African history, power, mystery, and the stories behind the headlines, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Today, we're looking at the final months and mysterious death of Emperor Haile Selassie, a man once seen as the face of Ethiopia, and in the end, a ruler who died behind closed doors under circumstances that are still debated to this day. Haile Selassie I ruled Ethiopia from 1930 until he was deposed in 1974, an era in which Ethiopia became both an African exception and a global symbol, not permanently colonized, internationally recognized, and diplomatically active across the 20th century's ideologies. To supporters, he represented state continuity and national pride. To critics, he embodied a hierarchical system that could not reform at the speed a modern society demanded. In the early 1970s, a famine crisis, especially associated with Wollo and Tigray, became politically explosive. Later accounts describe accusations that the imperial state concealed the scale of suffering, with death tolls alleged in the hundreds of thousands. Whether every number is reliable or not, the political outcome is clear. By 1974, legitimacy was collapsing, and the armed forces were becoming the arena where Ethiopia's future would be decided. On September 12, 1974, the military committee known as the Derg formally deposed and imprisoned the emperor. 3 days later, the Armed Forces Coordinating Committee transformed itself into the Rolling Military Council, placing Ethiopia under the authority of soldiers who claimed revolutionary legitimacy. But the country study account makes clear that power did not stabilize, it began to fracture. On November 23, 1974, Aman Andam was killed resisting arrest. That same evening, Bloody Saturday, political prisoners were executed, including prominent former officials. Derg used sudden, decisive violence not only against enemies, but as internal messaging, proof that no one, not even the highest figures, was untouchable. After the deposition, Haile Selassie lived under detention inside the imperial palace complex. Institutional accounts describe him as kept under arrest, and later memory politics centered on the palace as both prison and symbol. Meanwhile, the Derg moved to erase monarchy not only as a person, but as a legal structure. In March 1975, royal titles were revoked, and the constitutional monarchy was abandoned. From that moment, the emperor's political value to the Derg was no longer a figurehead. He was a relic of a world they claimed to be destroying. One long-form reconstruction describes soldiers coming to the emperor's quarters late in August 1975 and ordering servants out. The next morning, the same reconstruction reports a servant describing an unusual odor, a darkened face, and neck bandaging. Details that, if true, suggest something abnormal, but do not by themselves prove a method of killing. This account also emphasizes a pivotal absence: no autopsy, and no publicly visible medical record in the versions available to us today. Officially, the death was attributed to natural causes, sometimes framed as circulatory or respiratory failure, and later frequently described as complications from a prostate condition. But in December 1994, Reuters reported from an Ethiopian courtroom that judges reading charges described a different chain of events. The Derg officers met on August 23, 1975, resolved that the emperor should be strangled because he was head of the feudal system. and that he was strangled on August 26th in his bed. That single paragraph of courtroom language is the most concrete public narrative bridge between rumor and institutional accusation. Yet it also raises a question: why does the date in the charges, August 26th, sit beside public references to August 27th as the day he died? Whatever the cause of death, multiple accounts converge on a fact with immense symbolic weight. The burial was secret, and later discovery was described as occurring under a toilet in the palace. Reuters, writing years later about the Derg's broader crimes, repeats that the emperor was said to have been strangled and secretly buried under a latrine. Careful language that acknowledges how entrenched, yet still contested, the story remains. Symbolically, that is revolutionary humiliation. A dethroned emperor, not just killed, but buried, so his memory could not gather a crowd. In the 1990s, Ethiopia pursued long legal proceedings against former Derg figures. Reuters reporting from 2007 describes convictions for major crimes of the Mengistu era and frames the emperor as the regime's most prominent alleged victim. But trials can do two different things. They can establish legal responsibility, and they can also produce narratives that serve new political legitimacy. In the year 2000, 25 years after his death, the emperor was finally buried publicly in Addis Ababa. A museum exhibition description notes that only a small number of foreign journalists witnessed it, and that the reburial provoked renewed debate about Ethiopia's political history. The same account traces the remembered path of the remains: discovery in 1992, transfer to Bata Mariam, and final interment at Holy Trinity Cathedral. A major US newspaper similarly notes that his death remained mysterious to many, and that claims of assassination persisted into the funeral era. So what can we say without turning history into either propaganda or conspiracy? We can say he died in custody after being deposed by a military junta. We can say the official story framed it as natural causes. We can say a court process later alleged deliberate strangulation with a specific decision date and motive. And we can say that the absence of publicly available medical documentation, combined with secret burial and later testimony, left Ethiopia with a death that functioned not only as an event, but as an unresolved national argument. If you found this story fascinating, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video with someone else who loves powerful, untold history. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Haile Selassie died of natural causes, or do you think he was murdered? And if you want more deep investigations into Africa's most dramatic political stories, royal mysteries, and hidden histories, subscribe now and stay with us for the next episode.